Have you ever watched a movie and wish it lasted just a little longer? Or wonder what happens next?
It is on this night
How about if there will be a sequel?
in Vatican City.
For me, movies are oftentimes too short, which is why I find an escape in reading. I can sit down with a novel for weeks, or even sometimes in just a few days. I can take a book with me wherever I go and help make an otherwise boring situation a convenient time to read, like in a doctor's office or another waiting room, for example. I recently just finished The Lost Symbol by my favorite author, Dan Brown. You may know him as the author of The Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, Digital Fortress, or Deception Point. I love all Dan Brown books because of his ability to take current research and apply it to a fictional character, Robert Langdon, while drawing on connections throughout each of his books, even though they are independent stories of one another. He keeps his chapters short and bounces back and forth between perspectives, keeping the reader intrigued and wanting more. This is by far my favorite genre, realistic fiction. I don't have any favorite type of text to read. I try to have a novel at all times and grab a newspaper weekly. I also find myself reading articles online often. Although sometimes online I come across scholarly articles that are difficult to read. It is then that I take advantage of the power of Google to look up things I may be unfamiliar with and increase my outside knowledge, which is what I believe ultimately makes a good reader. A good reader is someone who can draw on their knowledge to read, understand, conceptualize, and question the author as they read their texts, contrary to something that is too easy to read, in which there is no such thing. If something is too easy, read it to someone who may believe it's hard, or take advantage of this time to read it fast and move on to the next book. Unlike movies, we can form our own images while we read, and a book can be an ongoing process that never has to end.